This is going to be a really cool episode, guys. We have Amol here in the nest. We're actually doing in person, so if you're watching the video, it's not going to be the awkward Zoom stuff. We got Amol, the CEO, founder, omnipotent leader of Patient Prism in the nest. He actually happens to live 5 doors down, we found out a couple months ago. So very cool. I not only have the leader of one of the best technologies out there for the healthcare industry, but I also have a neighbor. So good morning, neighborino.
Good morning, sir. In this crazy day of Zoom and everything else we do, it's nice to find somebody that you work with closely that actually happens to live next to you and you can shake hands with them.
Yeah, shake hands and tell me when the garage is open.
And garage is open, garage is closed, or whatever. Grass is not mowed, whatever that is. I'm like, hey, your grass is not mowed, it's too high.
So Amol's also the HOA leader of Linwood in Brookhaven, Georgia. So Amol, tell him, what is Patient Prism? How do you position it? And then we'll get into how it's differentiated. But tell them, just start with what's Patient Prism? Why should we care?
Patient Prism was started with the idea that we need to make conversations better in dentistry, now broader healthcare. And the problem that we were trying to solve was very simple. New patients, new customers were calling these dental offices at the time, and only about half of them were actually scheduling an appointment. And the reason for that was unknown for many reasons, and we thought it was the person at the front answering the phone, and that was part of the reason. But when we realized about 7 years ago that after listening to these calls, that there was multiple reasons why patients didn't schedule an appointment. Some of it was training with the front staff, some of it was other reasons like operations capacity and all that. So we asked a simple question that, hey, could we train Alexa how to understand dentistry? That was a very simple question from my brain at the time, was not a tech brain. And lo and behold, a year later, we had a product that literally used machine learning and natural language processing to understand why the patient didn't book an appointment. And we wanted to understand what happened, why did it happen, what was the value of that opportunity, and could we recover it in record amount of time by delivering that intelligence to the dental office that, hey, come on back in, sir. You called in earlier at 9 o'clock and we told you 10 grand for those 2 implants, but guess what? We didn't give you financing options. So we got financing available. It could be $299 a month. Come on back in. And all of a sudden, we saw patients starting to come back. And that was where the magic started, was that utilization of AI to have a second chance to make the first impression.
Yeah. And when you start, how long ago did you start Patient Prism?
We started before AI was a buzzword.
Yeah, and now it's a buzzword. How many years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. And so now AI is the big thing. So we usually don't jump into insights and trends until later on, but let's go into it. How are you guys using it? What is it doing differently or better or making more efficient or insights better? Tell us what anything really cool you've been into.
Yeah, well, the first thing you want to understand is, let me go back to the basics, right? Marketing is driving leads into the funnel, right? You're spending money and you're trying to get new patients of the right kind, right? The first thing you want to do if you're in any of healthcare verticals or anywhere in business, right? You want to pick up the phone. The first thing it realizes that, hey, how many times are you not picking up the phone during business hours? And that's simple to do. That doesn't require AI. Then what happens is you have to understand from an analytics standpoint, who is calling? What do they want? Is it a new patient? Is it an existing patient? Is it somebody not even related to a patient? Understanding that. Then when you understand those metrics, then you want to understand, are they scheduling an appointment or not? Okay, well, that's great. Well, you understood that metric. Now you go deeper. Okay. If they didn't schedule, why not? And that's what I call micrometrics. It's like you want to understand what is preventing the patient from moving forward in their journey to achieve their optimal health. And the reasons that we pick up through machine learning are capacity, pricing, insurance, money, affordability, service not available.
Agent quality?
Agent quality, absolutely, yes. Believe it or not, agent quality is about 30%.
So with the right scripts and the right information and the right capacity, they're booking.
So the agent quality actually only accounts for 30% of not booked appointments.
Okay.
But capacity, pricing has to do also with training of the agent, not this, right? Because if somebody thinks they cannot afford something, it basically means that they don't value it enough.
Yep.
They don't think it's valued enough.
Yeah.
Somebody will spend $4,000 on a Gucci shoe, but they would not spend $1,200 on a crown.
Yeah.
Right?
I value Ferraris pretty highly.
That's right.
I still don't have one.
So it is what Patient Prism,
them on value. Yeah.
Patient Prism does, it digs deeper into why. because then you can solve what's really broken. So that it's really simple, and it does it very quickly.
Yep.
The key in AI is knowing what happened, when did it happen, and then being able to deliver insight to the dental practice or the healthcare practice. We deliver it within 45 seconds, so that, oh my God, I just realized a minute ago I lost a lead worth 10 grand. We didn't offer them financing, and we should have, and we didn't offer them an appointment.
And that comes through your platform. It's not somebody listening and saying that all happened. That is being triggered. Patient Prism dashboard pops up, says this call didn't get scheduled. This was the reason. Someone called them the F back.
Well, not even Patient Prism dashboard. You can get it as a text message.
Oh, wow.
So you can get a text. The office manager, the call center manager can get a text. I'm like, hey. And it gives them, the text gives them a summary of what went wrong, what the agent did, what the agent did not do, what they could do when they called them back. So this is like literally pulling somebody who we just missed, a lead, a great lead, we just didn't appoint them, and then let's bring them back.
Yep.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, it seems simple, probably not as easy to deploy. And talk to us, so you mentioned now wider healthcare. You were known for dental. What are the next evolutions? We'll talk about next services for Patient Prism or the next product iteration, GA4, et cetera. Wider healthcare, what interests you about that? Why are we branching out of dental?
You know what I realized, a lot of people from all different verticals in the healthcare industry, like, Amol, why don't you have this in dental? Why don't you have this in audiology? Why don't you have this in veterinary? Why don't you have this in optometry?
Yeah.
And they're like, we're having the same exact problems. We're driving leads in, we're not scheduling them, and we have no idea.
Yep.
And most people have this gut reaction. I'm like, oh yeah, we're not doing it because Mary on the phone sucks. Well, okay, that's just a gut reaction. It could be your marketing is not driving the right leads in the funnel. So no matter how many leads are coming in, you're not scheduling them because Mary or John, whoever's answering the phone, can't schedule them because they're the wrong leads. Right? You don't take Medicaid and you're driving all these Medicaid leads in, no matter what you do. It's not the fault of the person answering the phone. So there is a lot of things that we diagnose at the very beginning of the process of like, and a lot of visibility in all of healthcare. There is no accountability in marketing. I'm sure you know, you run an amazing shop here, but there's no accountability. People have no idea. Everybody's just fed these metrics. Oh, I got you so many conversions.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
How many became patients? We don't know.
Yeah, how much money? Show me the money.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing that.
No one's doing that. And we've been harping on that for years, that we've got to get to the business result. And that's booked patients and revenue that come from it. So
And that's what a lot of these verticals came to me and says, Amol, we would love to have this.
Yeah.
And even like an OBGYN office said, my God, we have about 50 new pregnant patients calling us every month. And we have no idea whether we're scheduling them or not. The value of each pregnant patient is $10,000 per patient during their course of their pregnancy.
Yeah.
And if we lose them, it's 10 grand.
Does Patient Prism allow you to see by location or city reasons people aren't booking? Like maybe they don't accept Aetna, we need to take that off landing pages. We need to say no Medicaid in the ad copy of the PPC. Is it telling you by location?
It's telling you by location, by keyword,
scheduling, by keyword,
by everything.
You have integrations into Google Analytics, all that stuff, so they can track all the way through. Tell us about that kind of stuff. And I know you're excited about something.
We launched AdWords and analytics integrations on top of the AI we built.
Okay.
So what we wanted to make sure that what we were sending to Google, whether it's analytics or AdWords, was very accurate in terms of conversion. So the AI knows that this patient called, they booked an appointment, they wanted an appointment for Invisalign, for example. Right? That specific conversion can now be written back specifically into the conversion bucket called Invisalign website calls or mobile click to calls within ads or within your goals that are specifically for Invisalign, right? So now you don't have this broad-based conversion metric of like, okay, here's all the conversions from Patient Prism. Now you're exactly telling your customer that, hey, I am the marketing agency. I have driven 9 new Invisalign patients, booked appointments, and we have only spent $1,000 on this. So I have a much better understanding of my customer acquisition cost than I've ever had before. Otherwise, do-it-yourself people at marketing, they're like, oh, I got $30 cost per lead. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Really?
What's the denominator?
Yeah. I don't like, cost per lead is almost like a vanity leading metric to me at this point. What's the cost per booking? How many bookings are becoming patient? What's the cost per patient? It's hard to get groups there, but the right technology helps you. And I'm also, on the flip side, knowing those enables you to spend more, right? So if you want to grow your practice, you need to know what it's costs to drive a patient, and then you'll dump more money into it. But
100%. I mean, the thing that you guys have done at Cardinal is figured out the machine, right? Figured out how many dollars we need to put here to get a multiple of that dollars over there. And that's what we need to expect from marketing of the future, is that accountability. I'm like, okay, if I put $1 here, it's going to spit out $7 over here. And what we want to do in that process is we want to make sure that if a lead is coming in, we want to make sure that lead is appointed.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of spending all that money and the lead not being appointed? And give them operational guidance in the meantime, like, guys, if 40% of your patients did not book an appointment because you have no room, or one of the metrics that we calculate is average lead time. What is the average amount of time it takes for a new patient to call to book an appointment? We have clients 90 days, 112 days.
it takes them that long in the research phase before they're calling?
No. So patient
From
calls
call
today,
to
calling, you're calling in February, you can get an appointment in
Boy,
July.
I'm seeing that a lot.
And
That's right.
that is capacity. So what it then leads to is the idea that let's sit down with your operations leaders and let's figure out, can we add more capacity? Can we add more doctors? Or maybe not. Can we add more hygienists? Maybe not. Can we add more operatories? Maybe not. Well, could we reschedule? Can we optimize your schedule in a way that you, even if a patient calls, wants to spend 10 grand, you put them in another column and say, by the way, we'll figure it out when they get there. We can't say no to a $10,000 patient, and we can't tell them come in August when it's February. And so that's why we have succeeded in this industry, because we don't want to just make it about metrics. We want to make it about actions that come out of metrics. So if all you do is make pretty charts and pretty graphs and show them hindsight, nobody really cares about it. But the evolution of metrics, and one of the questions you had on your sheet that one of your people sent me was, where do you see the future of analytics in healthcare? The future of analytics is we have to move from hindsight to insight to foresight, right? Hindsight is what's happened. Insight is why did it happen? And foresight is what can we do about it to fix it?
That's right.
And if we can do that, leveraging AI, then we have all won, because now we are driving more revenue without spending more money. We're driving the right type of leads if you have the right person driving those leads. Cardinal it is. And
you know where to spend the next dollar to keep growing.
That's right.
Yeah, the capacity thing's been a huge issue. Now we're only running media based on capacity numbers fed to us from our clients. So, because we're finding that we're spending tons of money on media, and the next online appointment available is 3 weeks out. What is the point? Why are we doing that? So very cool. Something you guys just rolled out, something about GA4. This is not my thing, but this is something pretty innovative for Patient Prism, right?
Yeah, the idea was, obviously GA4 is the newest, baddest, biggest thing in analytics, launched by Google, and they're eliminating the old Universal Analytics. And a lot of marketing folks out there in the world are trying to utilize it in a way where it really tracks your goals and how you're meeting those goals. And we decided to take all the juice that we have in Patient Prism, which is not only understanding the booking status, but understanding what they wanted, the value of what they wanted, and then really report that to analytics in a way where we are understanding, we're getting a deeper understanding of the customer, and not just an overall understanding of, just new patients, right? I want to understand my goals by campaign, my goals by type of the patient that we were trying to look for. Because if you're not spearfishing patients today, and if you're just throwing stuff on the wall, hoping it sticks, and by the way, AI is great, but it doesn't really work in allocating your budget dollars because it's just gonna put it all over the place. So our analytics platform is meant to really supercharge your Google Analytics 4 implementation in a way that it gives you precise understanding of your goals by campaign, by keyword, by patient type.
Yep. Is there a way, so what differentiates, there's other call, lead, tracking, conversational intelligence platforms out there. Why Patient Prism? Everyone listening to this is saying, okay, well, I maybe have a thing, we'll talk about doing small implementations, but what do you think Patient Prism, what helps it stand out from some of the other not to be named partners?
Yeah, it's our people. We focus a lot on customer success.
Okay.
We care. I mean, our customer success team spends countless amount of hours with teams at our clients operationalizing the platform, because you can put the best thing ever and nobody uses it, it's no good. We have to get the people in the organization to move. We have to get them inspired to believe that doing this is good for everything, and not just good for the DSO or the MSO or anybody else, but we have to really understand the why of the people answering the phones. We have to understand the needs of the VP of operations, the VP of marketing, the VP of finance, right?
That's right.
And we have to really win them over. And the reason why Patient Prism is different, because we failed a lot in the first few years. We thought we have all AI and everything else, but nobody cared about that. People cared about their own problems, not my problems. People cared about what they care about, and once you start caring about what they care about, which is, oh, I don't have time in the day to figure your stuff out. So we had to make sure we designed the platform in a way that it enabled people to embrace it and use it and adopt it to actually make positive change for positive revenue growth and EBITDA growth. And that's why we're different. It's the people.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting, that's the first time I've heard a product-based company say that the people's the differentiator. And I agree. I think, I've been, I don't know how many Salesforce conferences and Dreamforce, and then half of the people in the round tables are like, yeah, it's shelfware. I mean, it's cool, it's powerful, but we don't use it. It's because no one showed why it's going to be important to drive change. They didn't get the other departments together. So that's a cool answer. Amol, what do you see for the upcoming year for you guys? What do you guys see as the trends? And if someone's listening to this and saying, we already have one of the not to be named other call tracking partners, what's a small way? Is there a way to test? Do they have to roll it out on all locations? Is there a way to do it a small way to get the foot in the door, see if the tech's better than the other one?
Yeah, we actually do not recommend anybody to roll it out across their location because of the change management stuff I talked about. We want to make sure we teach you, or we work together to figure out the SOP in your organization and how it's going to be worked. Because we might roll it out and you may not have time to do it. Okay, well that fails, right? So if you've got 30 offices, 20 stores, whatever that might be, let's start with first 4 or 5 and let's figure out, I respect all my competition. All of us are working hard to make the industry better, right? What we want to do is put us side by side and let's see what value we're bringing to the table. If you like the value in 90 days, there's no commitment beyond 90 days for anybody. Right? After 90 days, we don't even sign long-term contracts, because if again, I don't want to tie somebody down into a contract if it's not adding value. It doesn't make me feel good. And my grandma, who I loved very much, who died 11 years ago, would not be happy if she's watching. That's right? So I gotta be honest with people.
You gotta sleep.
I gotta sleep at night, and I gotta make her happy. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, we want you guys to try it and see the change that we can bring about. If we cannot bring about that change, we will tell you that, you know what, maybe this is not the right solution for you now. You need to fix your marketing first. If you're not getting any leads, and if your marketing is broken, we'll tell you that, right? If you're spending $3,000 and getting 2 Invisalign starts, and your cost per acquisition is $1,500, which means you're losing money on Invisalign campaigns. So don't do it, right? Use the money, take family on vacation or something.
Yeah.
But we're gonna give you honesty. And we're gonna tell you that, hey, try it before you buy it. We're gonna tell you that try it, and let's walk together first. Let's figure out if this can be operationalized within your platform. Let's figure out whether we can appoint a champion in your organization that can literally get this done. And if we can figure that out in the first 90 days, which we have had a 99% track record of moving everybody past 90 days.
That's right.
We want to keep our key people accountable to know that if we don't do our job, the customer has the right to move on.
Okay.
And that's important.
That's right. New vision statement for Patient Prism, making grandma happy.
Making grandma, it's always a statement.
Yeah,
She's still on my screensaver for my phone, so for
good.
12 years.
Yeah, wonder how the kids
Making
feel
grandma.
about that, but yeah, that's fine. What are you most excited about over the next year? You're one of the most innovative people and definitely the biggest celebrity. I went to the ADSO conference. We're a sponsor. Nobody talks to me. I go around this guy, 5 people talk to him. I can't even, I just went and got a beer, but this is how famous this guy is. Over the next year, what is something you wish Patient Prism or any conversational intelligence platform could do they can't do because of limitations in tech or whatever? What's like the next coolest thing any of these?
Well, we are getting towards automation, right?
Okay.
Automated. Right now we have a couple of problems in all of healthcare today. One is that there is a shortage of clinicians. Second, there is a shortage of people that are non-clinicians. There's a 50% turnover at the front across the board in healthcare. 50%. 59% I saw the last statistic.
Support staff?
Are looking for a new job. 59% of new front office staff are looking for a new job. Everybody looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Which is the day we live in these days.
Not my team, but yeah, sure.
But yeah. Well, you take care of them. You got Twix.
Yeah, we got Twix.
You got Twix.
Yeah.
The thing is, what we want to do is we want to enable organizations to use automation, AI, technology, to do things that are more manual. For example, I'll give you an example. What's coming is the ability for us to do automatic outbound dials based on a smart list of people that we need to activate. And we know 40% of patients that are called outbound are reach voicemail, leave a voicemail. If the patient picks up the phone, then connect them to the human. So we don't want humans to do tasks that are repetitive and laborious and boring. We want humans to do things that build patient trust, that make the patient feel important and valued. So that's what we want to do is reduce the reliance on humans to do the tasks that are needed to reactivate patients, for example. And create these outbound smart intelligent dialers, outbound analysis of like how successful are we in reappointment rate is a big deal, right? You want, especially in dentistry, you want in general dentistry, you want a 90% plus reappointment rate. And it's not happening because patients are falling at the bottom of the funnel.
And nobody wants to spend their time calling.
Nobody wants to spend the time calling. So can we make it easier? Can we do text nurturing campaigns? We've launched text nurturing already.
Cool.
Like, can we, if a patient if the office doesn't answer the phone, if the office doesn't book an appointment, could we deliver them a free pre-approval for $5,000. Hey, we've just approved $5,000. We're talking to several partners in the financing space saying, could we activate patients by giving them money right away and approving them for money and without a human involved in that process? So that's my goal for 2023 and 4 is more automation and getting humans out of the minutia of doing things that are just not adding value to the patient.
Yep.
And making and getting more patients in. I mean, access to care. We want more patients in this industry. 50% of America hasn't seen a dentist, which is kind of crazy.
Ever?
Yeah, 50% of America. Look at how big our industry could be. And of the 50% who have seen a dentist, only 50% have accepted treatment. So all this money we're spending, imagine how much we could grow this industry. From 120 billion, this could be a $500 billion industry, only if we keep attention to the metrics that are important. And we are the keepers of the right type of intelligence and not just data we're throwing on dashboards, making it look pretty.
We got to get the humans out of the minutia and make clinicians' job easier. If they're able to see 5 instead of 2 patients in the same amount of time because of automation technology, we're going to get a lot more access to care. That's good. Amol, not only famous, not only one of the best tech wizards out there, but actually does care about making sure patients are getting connected with care. A good guy, a neighbor, a friend, and an innovator. Amol, thanks for joining Ignite.
Thank you, sir.